Remember When. I guess this is both me. Alright, so Remember When. This segment is a segment where we take you back to the past. Insert effect here. And we tell you a story about...
I'm turning it on.
We tell you a story about our past. Both stories today are going to be coming from the memories of Justin. That's me. Alright.
That's not me.
So,
definitely not me.
Alright. Remember when I was in 5th grade and we were going on some kind of break, like spring break or something. I think it was spring break. Anyway, the 5th grade class needed someone to take home the rabbit. And, we didn't have maybe we might have had a pet at this time. I mean, we had to have had Sandy. We did have a pet, but, we didn't have a rabbit. So, just on a whim, I said, hey, I'll take it. My parents would be fine with it. They didn't ask him if I could bring him a rabbit.
They didn't. Your teacher didn't even have you call and make sure that it was okay.
I don't know the circumstances.
Justin probably talked his way out of it.
I just said, I can take the rabbit. Yeah, they're totally fine with me having a
I
rabbit.
would have loved to know you as a child.
Okay, so I take the rabbit, but I gotta go to Becky's Country Kitty Barn, which is a separate story in itself of how Amanda and I ended up there when we were in 5th grade. Okay, so I take the rabbit there. Well, a friend of mine at the time, Keith Fine,
I think I remember him.
had also taken his class rabbit home, and his aunt was the runner of the daycare. Okay, so we both had rabbits there. Now, here is where it gets a little dicey. My rabbit was male. That rabbit was female. Okay? 5th graders don't really know much about the birds and the bees. Okay?
And the bunnies.
And the bunnies and the hops that they do. Okay, so we yay, let's let the rabbits run around together. Let's let them
get to know each other.
Oh, what are they doing? They're like, they're right on top of each other. What is this? I think we probably had some sort of idea of what was happening. So we separate them. From what I remember, they did it one more time. We're like, okay, we got to keep them separated. Okay, well, we take them back. I take the rabbit home, and I get in trouble for bringing home just a rabbit on a whim. And hey, found out that several weeks later, when Miss Rainey is teaching her class, and all of a sudden Rabbit starts making weird noises and starts going into labor. Has 3 bunnies, and for some reason unknown to anyone, I guess, maybe it was the animals too domesticated, all the bunnies died. I guess the rabbit didn't know. From what I understand, this was a different class. I guess when the rabbits are born, they have they're born.
Are you seriously about to give us a lesson on birthing rabbits?
From what I understand happened is they were born in a cocoon-like thing, right? Where the rabbit has to eat away a portion of the mouth so that it can breathe, something like that. Otherwise the mucus covers the face and they suffocate, and that's what happened to all of our babies. The thing wasn't covered away, and no one was ready to receive the rabbits,
That's a sad story.
They all died.
You got a rabbit pregnant and all her babies died.
Well, I didn't get a rabbit pregnant.
You were a piece of the puzzle
yes.
in the rabbit getting pregnant.
Anyway, so that's just a quick little story about how I made a rabbit.
I have a remember when. I was thinking about this because when I flew to Arizona, I was thinking about airport stories. And I realized that where I got my habit of not being late to anything, being 15 minutes early, is me being on time. I figured it had to have been when I was 14. I was going to Dad's. I think I was probably 15. And you lied and said you were working, so you couldn't go. So I was going by myself. And I knew what time the flight left. I knew when I needed to be there by.
Mm-hmm.
And Mom was just chilling, hanging out in the living room. And so I'm like, well, she probably knows what she's doing. She's a grown-up. And so I'm like, Mom, like, when do you think we should leave? She's like, oh, what time's the flight? I tell her what time, and she looks at the clock. She's like, oh, well, we better get going. So we're really fucking late. And I think this had to have been before September 11th, because I don't think security was that bad.
If it was before September 11th, you were not 15.
I was 12. Okay, so maybe after. Whatever. Doesn't fucking matter. So I'm late. We still have to go to the check-in counter and do all that stuff. She can't come with me. You know, she needs, like, her whole pass and everything. So I get through security. I'm this little child. I'm hauling ass. I'm sprinting through the airport with this huge-ass bag because I didn't have time to check it.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, carry it on. It'll be fine. Running through the airport, like, knocking people with the bag. Little child. They're probably like, what the fuck? Like, where's this kid's parents? So I'm running through the airport. I'm the last on the flight. I make it, but this is where my fear of being late. Everyone's staring at me. My bag is so fucking huge. And, like, where I'm going, the plane doesn't need to be very big, you know? Like, it's a small airplane. Fucking bag does not fit. I'm, like, trying to force it in there. The flight attendant is being a bitch. She's, like, not helping me. And so everyone's staring at me like I'm making the plane late. I was so mortified. I was, like, traumatized.
That's so sad.
And so I think they ended up either, like, doing the valet thing where they, like, hold it at the front of the plane for me, or I finally made it fit. God. I swear that's why I've started being 15 minutes early to everything.
That would do it.